In the top stories, Citizen Security Secretariat to host post-90-day crime and violence campaign. Teenagers receive scuba certification in St. Martin, and South Korea's opposition parties submit a motion to impeach President Yoon over sudden martial law. Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Midday Newscast. Today is Wednesday, December 4th, 2024. I'm Scotty Sia Hendrickson. Nationally, the Citizen Security Secretariat will host a post-90-day campaign against crime and violence session on Thursday, where it is expected that the results of the initiative will be made public, according to a notice on Tuesday. The event is set to take place at the Cuna Caribbean Conference Room Center in Bastille at 9 a.m. Launched on September 6th, the initiative focused on addressing crime through a public health lens, aiming to reshape the nation's approach to community safety and violence prevention. Titled Beyond the 90 Days, the event signals the transition into the next phase of the National Crime Reduction Strategy. Prime Minister Dr. Terence Drew, also Minister of National Security and Health and Chairman of the Citizen Security Task Force, will lead the session. The event will feature a comprehensive review of campaign's achievements, data-driven insights gathered during the 90 days, and plans for advancing strategies to reduce crime and violence. Following the presentation, stakeholders and attendees will engage in dialogue with government officials to outline actionable steps for sustaining progress. The St. Kitts Water Services Department says it will commence an airborne geophysical survey on Thursday. According to a statement issued by the department on Tuesday, the survey should be completed by the end of the year. The three-week semi-airborne survey will capture data from across the island, such as soil composition, rock types, and groundwater levels, which informs best location for water resources, assist with infrastructure development, and environmental management. Members of the public can expect to see drones with specialized equipment flying over various areas. This is necessary to collect essential data. The Water Services Department has given the assurance that the process is safe and also noted its importance as it allows the Water Service Department to gather critical information without digging or disturbing the ground. The geophysical survey is a quick and efficient way to collect data and improve data management systems. In other local news, Premier of Nevis and Minister of Finance Honorable Mark Brantley presented his budget address in the Nevis Island Assembly on Tuesday, outlining $273.17 million budget for the Nevis government for the fiscal year 2025. According to the Premier, the projected income and expenditure is a reduction of 3% compared to 2024's $282.7 million. The NIA projects revenue collections will provide a total overall recurrent revenue of $230.7 million for the upcoming 2025 fiscal period, including an almost $27 million surplus. Our recurrent spend is predicted to amount to $203.8 million. For 2025, the NIA has allocated $11.8 million for the Office of the Premier, $99.2 million for the Ministry of Finance, $42 million for the Ministry of Communications and Water et al., $17.3 million for the Ministry of Agriculture, $48.7 million for the Ministry of Health, Gender Affairs and Social Empowerment, $6.5 million for the Ministry of Tourism, and $41.3 million for the Ministry of Education, Library Services, Information Technology, Youth and Sports. Premier Brantley pointed out that while the government has made these projections, annual budgets are merely projections for revenue and expenditure. In regional news, 7 teenagers in St. Martin successfully completed an environmental education program, earning their scuba diving certification. The Nature Foundation's 2024 Junior Ranger program, supported by the Coastal Resilience Needs Assessment or CARENA project, concluded on November 30th after 6 months of journey of environmental learning and hands-on experience. Selected from over 20 applicants across the island's primary and secondary schools, the participants aged 12 to 14 engaged in a diverse range of activities, including wildlife monitoring, sailing, birding, and natural area patrols. The program's highlight was the full scuba diving certification achieved by all 7 junior rangers in November, providing them with valuable skills for scientific research and environmental conservation. The program is part of the CARENA project, funded by the RICIMID program, an European Union initiative implemented by the Expertise France to support sustainable human development in Caribbean, overseas countries, and territories. In other regional news, the Grenada Tourism Authority has announced the launch of a new non-stop flight service connecting Grenada and Georgetown, Guyana via Inter-Caribbean Airways. The new connection is scheduled to happen twice weekly on Thursdays and Sundays. CEO of the Grenada Tourism Authority, Petra Roach, says she is thrilled for the new connection. Roach sees this opportunity as a chance to market both islands. Grenada's Minister for Mobilization, Implementation and Transformation, Andy Williams, and Director of the Guyana Tourism Authority, Cameron Bashk, underscored the importance of the new service. To celebrate the milestone, a 5-day familiarization trip designed to immerse media professionals of both countries in each other's cultures, experiences, and attractions was held. In international news, on Wednesday, South Korea's opposition parties submitted a motion to impeach President Yoon Suk-yeol following his sudden and brief imposition of martial law, which saw heavily armed troops surrounding parliament. This prompted lawmakers to scale walls in an effort to re-enter the building, where they unanimously voted to rescind his order. To proceed with an impeachment, the motion requires the support of 2/3 of Parliament, and at least 6 of the 9 constitutional court justices must endorse it to remove the president from office. The motion, submitted by the Democratic Party of Korea, the largest opposition party, and 5 smaller opposition parties, could be put to a vote as early as Friday. In response to the events, Yoon's senior policy advisors and Defense Minister Ying Yong-hyun offered their resignations as the nation grappled with the apparent mishandling of what many considered a poorly planned action. In addition to the impeachment motion against Yoon, the Democratic Party separately filed a motion to impeach Minister Kim, whom they accused of advising the president to declare martial law. In his announcement on Tuesday night, Yoon vowed to eliminate what he described as quote-unquote anti-state forces and criticized the Democratic Party for its effort to impeach key government officials and senior prosecutors. However, the martial law lasted only about 6 hours. The National Assembly quickly voted to overturn Yoon's decision, and his cabinet formally rescinded the order by 4:30 a.m. on Wednesday. The Democratic Party, which holds a majority in the 300-seat parliament, demanded that Yoon step down immediately, warning that they would proceed with impeachment if he did not comply. The Democratic Party issued a statement condemning the martial law, stating that it was an unlawful and unconstitutional act violating necessary procedures for such a declaration. They argued that it was a severe breach of Constitution, describing it was a rebellious act that warranted impeachment. In other international news, abortion rights advocates on Wednesday urged a judge to block Missouri's near-total abortion ban following the state's recent passage of a constitutional amendment supporting abortion rights. Jackson County Circuit Judge Jerry Zhang was set to hear arguments from Planned Parenthood and the Attorney General's office over whether a temporary order should be issued to prevent enforcement of restrictive abortion laws. Missouri is one of 5 states where voters approved constitutional amendments protecting abortion rights. However, the state's amendment does not automatically override existing laws, leaving courts to decide on their constitutionality. Attorney General Andrew Bailey confirmed that most abortions will be legal once the amendment takes effect, but continues to defend restrictions, including a ban on abortions after fetal viability, a 72-hour waiting period, and regulations requiring abortion facilities to be licensed as surgical centers. Planned Parenthood argues that these laws make it nearly impossible to provide abortions, while the Attorney General's office contends the group has not shown harm or planned to make the necessary preparations. A ruling on the request for preliminary injunctions is pending. And now for the weather. Present weather is fair skies. Winds are a gentle breeze of 9 miles per hour from the east. The temperature today is 29 degrees Celsius or 84 degrees Fahrenheit. Seas are 1.2 to 1.8 meters or 4 to 6 feet. Weather forecast for today will be partly cloudy with a 40% or moderate chance of showers. Tonight is expected to be partly cloudy with a 40% or moderate chance of showers. Sunset today will be 5:36 p.m. and sunrise tomorrow will be at 6:27 a.m. And that brings us to the end of the ZIZ Midday Newscast. Join us this evening for these stories and more in detail. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Scotty Hendrickson.